Hello everyone, welcome back to Red Do Reads. Today we have r/confessions. If you want me to cover some specific subreddit in the next video, leave it in the comments. I lied about being stung by a bee and having an allergic reaction. So I know this sounds bad, and it kind of is. This happened when I was 15 or 16. I was at a week-long summer camp on some forested island in the middle of nowhere. I was put in the groups of the oldest kids, but I was still a year older than everyone there. Girls in my cabin snored, the guys weren't cute, and one night we had to sleep on the ground with raccoons running across us. I was not having it. I want to go back to my villa. I smell like Shrek's swamp. To the third or fourth morning, I hatched a plan. I have a shellfish allergy, so the camp had my EpiPen along with my other medications. I decided, while waiting in line for the bathroom at breakfast, to put my acting skills to the test. Labored breathing, bugged out eyes, the works. The other campers were like, "She's dying!" And they took me to the mad people. I whizzed out, "Sting!" They asked me if I was allergic, and I gave them a look of, "What do you think, dude?" I made the leg stabbing motion of the EpiPen, and they grabbed it and gave me the stab. Of course, by now I had gathered an audience of a bunch of 8 to 12-year-olds with terror in their eyes. They called the ambulance, dudes came in and gave me IV, heart rate, etc. They asked me about my voice, and I have a very raspy and deep voice, especially for a girl. I let them know I've always had a voice like this, and it's unrelated. I got carted off to the health hut to be monitored. I would have to stay there for a few hours before I could go back to the camp stuff. However, if I had another reaction, they would have to take me to the hospital. I was like, okay, in the most slightly traumatized but also annoyed teenager voice I could muster. I lie there, staring at the bunk above me. We weren't allowed to bring our phones to the camp, so I was bored out of my mind. 45-ish minutes later, I decided to start the show again. They came in and took me to a smaller room and gave me another dose of epinephrine. The ambulance came back and they said they didn't have a choice but to take me to the hospital. Hopped in the ambulance with like 70 kids gawking at me, drove on the bumpiest road I've ever been on, and all of a sudden, we stopped. Why are we stopped? Me. Is that an effing helicopter? Ambulance guy. We're in an island, dude. Me. Oh yeah. Getting into the back of that helicopter was honestly wild. It's such a tight space in there. I was glad I wasn't claustrophobic. The helicopter dude was trying to keep me calm by talking to me about where I was from. So Scarlett, how old are you? Are you from around here? I'm 16 and sort of, I live in the name of the city. Oh, no way! My family is from there too! I'm not around much, obviously, since I'm an air ambulance guy. My kids are your age. What school do you go to? I go to that high school. Oh, no way! My kids go there. You're a sophomore, right? Yeah. My daughter is a sophomore too. I don't know if it's like a confidential or something, but what's your daughter's name? Maybe I know her? Her name is Penelope Millard. No way! I do know her! She's good friends with one of my good friends. You probably know her, Kyra? Yep, Kyra is over at our place all the time. What a small world! I don't know if this violates HIPAA, since I'm asking you to give away my name, but tell her I said hi, lol. I'll tell her I lifted one of her friends to the hospital. Haha, you should tell her. Me, passes the F out from the Benadryl. Fast forward like 2 hours, my mom makes the 2-hour drive to the hospital I was at and was like, "What the heck did you do, child?" I just rolled my eyes and kept reading my book. I stayed in the hospital for a little longer, then was able to go home. Not related, but all my stuff was left at the camp and I had to pick it up at the end of the week. I did not tell my mom that I faked the whole thing, obviously. Months-ish later, I got allergy tested. When the results came back, they were positive to like every kind of bee or wasp or hornet. I was stunned. I've never been stung by a bee before. I've been terrified of them my whole life. But allergic? Like full-on anaphylactic allergy? I don't know when I tell my parents this, probably on their deathbed. So yeah, sorry this was so long and also sorry for formatting. I'm on mobile. I went up to Kyra at school and I was like, your dad airlifted me off an island. She was like, what? I explained it to her, minus the part where I faked the whole beast thing. And she was like, yeah, he told me something about meeting one of my friends on the job. I didn't know it was you though. Funny stuff. Wow, I am so conflicted here. Because, well, doing this is horrible. Wasting resources, your parents' money, wasting time of everyone, scaring kids. But on the other hand, the allergy turned out to be real. So would OP be okay if they had just an EpiPen and the bee or hornet or wasp really stung them? We don't know. Because these kind of things hit really close to home for me. Because my father, he has the same anaphylactic allergy to wasps and hornets and bees. And I remember when I was 11 or 12, so like many years ago, he got stung by a bee while driving and he started to lose it. So he stopped the car near the pharmacy and he went inside and it was all, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. But instead of disintegrating into dust, he just fell down on the pharmacy floor and the pharmacist helped him and called the ambulance and everything. But he went into coma and stayed there for some time. He was relatively unharmed and all his functions were intact, but still, it was very scary for our family. After that, he always has his EpiPen, his allergy medications, he's very careful where he goes. So I cannot even imagine if something happened to him on an island. But all the faking in this story, yeah, I feel conflicted. What do you guys think? Y'all, we finally hit 200 subscribers! I am so happy. Do you think we could hit 250 until the end of this week? It sounds minor, I know, but for me it's such a big deal. So if you can, hit a subscribe and you will make my day. When I was a kid, I stole my neighbor's bra and buried it. When I was 11 years old in 2007, I had this neighbor. She was a teacher and was a really nice person overall, giving me cookies, play with me and my sister, like hide and seek, football. I remember playing a game alone. I used to call it adventure. I go behind apartments and see what I can find thrown there. I used to do this about 2 or 3 times a month. My biggest all-time finds are 50 euros and a big silver ring. One day I got out, started by looking behind the building where I live. I saw a purple bra thrown on the ground. Her apartment is on the lowest floor, and I saw her clothes drying from her window, so I was fully convinced it was hers. I played with this bra with my friend all day. We helicoptered it, spinning it around and running with it. I remember we had so much fun that when we finished playing with it, it was in no condition to return it. So I put it in a box and buried it when everyone went home. A week later, I saw she was putting her stuff drying on her window. So I got the stick of the mop and tried to make anything fall, but it was a failure. I didn't get anything. It was so hard, my neck hurts from looking up all the time. So I waited for days after my failure for her to put more clothes. When she finally did, on a day that I didn't have to go to school, I tried again and managed to get another bra. It was white. This time I played with it like the first one, but alone this time. When I finished, I got another box and buried it next to the other. I didn't steal a single thing after that. Fast forward to now, I know the place but forgot where I buried it exactly. Looking back, I feel like crap. She was living alone, working, plus had to deal with stolen bras. I don't know if she noticed or not. 5 years later, she got married and moved out. But like once a year, she comes back with her husband and her kids. When she sees my mom or my sister, she always asks them about me and how I was a polite kid. Just a week ago, I was coming home She saw me and we started talking. She's the best, always smiling, cheerful, and nice to me. From last week, all I think about is how I stole from her, and I feel like crap. Well, I think it's safe to say that this confession should stay with OP. Because I cannot even imagine the face of that lady when the neighbor from your past apartment comes up to you, whom you remember to be a sweet child, with whom you played when he was young. He comes up to you and says, "Hey lady, I stole your bra 2 times actually and buried them." So yeah, let's not share this secret. I went crazy and threw 2 glass cups at a customer. I work for my family's business, a small coffee shop. We have a rule of toilet only for customers. We used to be very lenient and let everyone go, but that translated into a 2K water bill per month. So now we are more strict, although we let anyone who asks nicely to go anyway. Anyways, today I was closing the shop on my own when I saw this dude near the door, but he ran off when I saw him. I continued cleaning, and when I looked up again, the dude ran inside straight to the bathroom. No hello, no nothing. I called out to him and told him he can't use the bathroom unless he buys something first. He refused, made up excuses, just wouldn't take no for an answer, and totally disregarded me and continued his way to the bathroom. I saw red. I felt so disrespected and anger took over my body. I happened to have 2 glass cups in my hands and threw them at him. Luckily for him, my aim is crap and didn't hit him, but it was enough to scare him off. I wish I had sweared at him, but I was so angry I couldn't think of insults. Now that I'm calmer, I regret it. I think he deserves the scare, but I still shouldn't have done it. And more importantly, we are running out of cups and I break 2 on purpose. I won't tell my family about this incident, and I'm gonna make up some lie about the broken cups. I know what I did is totally crazy, and I shouldn't have done it. But sadly, I act on emotion far more than I should. And here is the comment I really liked. It's a pain. Code lock on the bathroom door. Don't know the 4-digit code? Not getting in. Some customers will moan and moan, others will understand. As a customer, it doesn't bother me. I grew up in a popular tourist area and it was pretty standard. Your bathroom will stay much cleaner, less water and supplies used. You won't throw things, probably. And Obi replied, I like that probably you added at the end. It's like you know me. It's very funny, but yeah, Obi should be careful. Because someday, after many times throwing stuff at people, his aim will become better and he will definitely hit someone with a cup. I tell customers at my work that I'm dyslexic because I cannot count. I am literally just stupid. Like really effing dumb. When I'm cashing someone out and then they decide to go, oh wait, I have 68 cents, my brain turns off and I cannot do the math. I don't want to pull out my calculator either. I often say, oh sorry, I cannot add that change in because the system needs to count every coin and bill, which is not true. Other times they go to hand me the change and then I freeze and look confused. The customer can tell and is able to tell me exactly what I need to give them back, and I just go, oh, sorry, I'm dyslexic. I usually just go off of what the customer tells me and pray they're not ripping me off. And as soon as they leave, I double check with my calculator. I hate to fake a disability, but the absolute embarrassment and harassment I get from some of these customers is excruciating. When I tell them I'm dyslexic, they kind of relax a little bit and apologize for being rude. I have actually gotten to the point of almost crying because I am so stupid and I cannot count change. I hate when they make a scene. Well, I googled and it is called not dyslexia, but dyscalculia. So it is like dyslexia, but for counting. And I believe it is this thing, not just being stupid. So I think OP should go get checked, get a real diagnosis, and live happily ever after, not feeling ashamed to be himself, right? Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. You can also watch this awesome video or that awesome playlist. See you next time!